Hi guys! Fuck, I'm so annoying. That can't be my intro. Like, I'm gonna kill myself. Hey, what's up? It's Nat again. Here's my second video. I just really actually want to thank all of you who watched the first one. You all commented great things. It made me feel way too good about myself. It all went to my head. So that fucking sucks for you. Welcome back. Oh my god, I'm like so shitty at holding this camera right now. Like, I'm really sorry for how shitty quality this is gonna be, but today, do I have a story for you. Sorry if I'm like super upbeat and like maybe laughing sometimes. Like, it isn't funny at all. Like, when it happened, I literally cried. Like, I think I actually have PTSD from it. Like, I still have trouble. No, my way of dealing with shit is by making fun of it, so blessed. Oh my god, I'm wearing jean shorts right now. Why is sitting down in jean shorts such an issue in my life? Like, who? Here we go. As you can see, I am still homeless. Like, I'm trying to cover it up by like putting my blanket in the back. Like, I'm not fooling any of you. I know I'm not, but whatever. Like, you can see out the window. Oh yeah. For those of you that are worried, I'm not actually homeless. This is by choice. I bought a van and I'm traveling throughout the North Island of New Zealand. So I did the same thing last year, but I actually did it on the South Island because I lived on the South Island for 6 months. And at the end of it, I was like leaving for Canada soon, and I was like, wow, I feel like an idiot. I have not seen any of the island. Like, I'm completely useless. Just to give you a little context for the story, where I was at in my life emotionally and physically and spiritually. Physically completely out of shape. Like, I'm so off subject. I had just broken up with my boyfriend at the time. I dated a guy for 6 months when I was in New Zealand last year, and he wasn't from here as well. He was from South Africa. So what happened is his last week in New Zealand, because he left earlier than I did, his last week in New Zealand, we actually traveled together. We did a bit of New Zealand. Whoa, speed limit for a reason. So we did some of the South Island together. I slept in the back of my van with like a 6'6" guy. I felt completely safe with him. He left and we didn't know if we would ever see each other again, and I was like a fucking mess. But it was also shitty because I was still traveling. First night alone, okay? I go to this town called Hanmer Springs, and it's literally like a shithole, but they have these like really cool hot springs. It's like just natural hot water. It's super cool. It's like sulfur water, like hail Satan, preach. So I'm like, that's where I need to go. So I drove there and I spent the day in the hot water things. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like really weird. Thermal pools, that's what they're called. After that, I was like, okay, like, I'm gonna spend the night here, but there's like literally nothing here. Like, it's a shithole. So I googled like campgrounds, and there was 2 of them. There was a free one, which was like 15 minutes outside of town, or there was a paying one. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go to the free one. So I go, and it's like a campground. It's literally like a gravel road, and they're like, yeah, you can park here. You won't get killed in the middle of the woods. So I'll be like, yeah, no, don't think so. I'm just gonna go to the paying one. Like, it's my first night. Like, I just want to feel safe, you know? And I get to the reception and I'm like, yo, what up, lady? Like, can I sleep here tonight? And she's like, oh my, is my other guest ever gonna be happy to see you? What do you mean? And she's like, well, there's only one other camper. I'm like, oh. And she's like, are you sleeping in your car? I'm like, yeah. She's like, so is he. I'm like, cool, sorry, like, that's fine, that's cool, like, good for you. And she's like, no, but like, he came in and was like, asked if there was anyone else on the campground, and I told him no, and he was really upset. He said that like, he just likes it when there's other people. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Can I get a campground? And she's like, just go, like, you can park anywhere. So I'm like, all right. So I drive in and I see this other guy's car, and he's parked like near like there's like a kitchen area and like showers and bathrooms. So he was parked like super close to that. And I'm like, I'm just gonna go like super far away, like just in my own zone, you know? So it's just like a grass parking lot, like it's just lawn. So I drive to the end and there's this like little parking spot made of gravel. It's the only spot of gravel. I'm like, that's the one. So I park. So like, just to like, so you can really visualize the situation, okay? My car's parked here, and like this is gravel, like just here, and there's like woods all along here, and like nothing, like there's nothing here. It's woods. There's woods all in front, and then like the bathroom, showers, kitchens all like over here, and the guy's parked like all the way over here. Like he's parked like, I would probably say, I don't know, I'm really bad with distances, but probably like 500 meters away. Does that like sound accurate? I don't know. Anyways, I'm like, I'm gonna use the kitchen area, like make myself a grilled cheese, like, cause I'm such a fucking great chef. I don't know why I keep doing this, like as if that's fucking cool. I'm such a fucking loser. So I go in the kitchen and he's in there and he's like, oh, hello. And I'm like, hi. And he's like, how are you? And I'm like, good, thanks. And he's like, are you traveling alone? And I'm like, and he's like, oh, no, like, like, I'm just asking because, like, I'm traveling alone, and, like, people always ask me that, and I'm like, yeah, okay, like, yeah, I'm traveling alone. Okay, like, that's my fault. If ever you're traveling alone, rule number 1, don't fucking advertise it. I'm such an asshole, like, he's, like, starts telling me about himself. I guess he's, like, from France. The fucking French. He was probably, like, friends with Gaston, like, classic Gaston. No, I'm sure they knew each other. No, I'm kidding. They definitely didn't know each other, but still. So I'm chilling, and then, I don't know, like, I just felt kind of like, ugh, like, you know when you just have the heebie-jeebies? Like, I just had the heebie-jeebies. Like, at one point, like, I'm sitting at the table, and I'm facing this way, and the, like, sink and stuff is behind me, and he went back there to, like, wash his dishes or whatever he was doing, and I just, like, like, I had the, like, urge to, like, look over my shoulder the whole time. Like, I was just, like, I just felt scared, and I was like, oh my god, like, you're such an asshole, like, you're being so paranoid. Like, it's just because you're finally traveling alone. You have to stop making this guy feel like if he's a fucking rapist, because he isn't. Do you see the size of this water bottle? Man, their water bottles here are fucking big. Refreshing. I'm like, he's just creeping me out for no reason at all. Like, I'm just being an asshole. Like, I literally was like, I'm being such an asshole. 8 p.m. comes around and I'm like, all right, like, I'm just gonna go chill in my van because, like, I'm sick of this guy and, like, whatever. So I'm like, anyways, good night. Like, I'm going in my van. He's like, all right, see ya. I'm like, see ya. So I go to my van and I'm just chilling. I'm being, like, super emo and stuff, like, just pretty much cutting my wrists in the back of my van, like, listening to some Evanescence. Like, that's how I felt. Like, that was my mood. I think it's like 9 p.m. at this point, or like 9:30, and I hear footsteps like right outside of my van. And like, I'm just gonna explain to you like the setup I had so you can like understand. I'm laying like with my feet to the seats, so like this is the front seat, like the driver's wheel, like my feet are this way, my head is at the back of the van, and like my doors were locked, everything, because I was paranoid, but like my windows are all up except for this one, like the one that's on my left. I had it down by like this much, and I had a towel drying, like a towel like hanging outside, and like, but it was facing like the woods, so I was like, whatever, it doesn't even matter. And I hear footsteps, and I'm like, okay, what the like weird, like I immediately am like creeped out, like, oh, why is there footsteps? And it's just like weirding me out, but I'm like, okay, like maybe he like just wanted to go pee in the woods, or like, I don't know, like I'm being fucking paranoid again. Like I'm literally like talking myself off the edge, like, why are you being such an asshole? Like this poor man is probably just going for a pee, and you're like, he's gonna rape me. So I'm like, stop, chill the fuck out. And then the footsteps go away, so I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's like 10:30, I fall asleep, and I wake up at like 1 a.m. and I just can't sleep. I wake up and I'm like, I'm just gonna like look at pictures. I didn't have internet or anything, so I'm like, I'm just gonna look at pictures on my laptop until I fall asleep. It's been like 45 minutes. Like at this point, it's almost 2 a.m. and I hear footsteps again. Okay, keep in mind like what I told you about the gravel. Like the whole thing is grass, but literally like right, like this is my van, and like just right around my van is gravel. I hear footsteps, and like I'm just like in my zone, right? So it takes me like a minute to kind of like process like what's actually happening, but I hear like and I'm like, whoa, like it kind of snaps me, and I'm like, what the hell? Like it was weird at 9 p.m. Like it was weird at 9 p.m. Like let's be real, it was creepy that he was all the way over where my car is, because my car is not near anything. But at 2 a.m. like, there's creepy, and there's like, what the fuck are you doing creeping outside of my van at 2 a.m.? What the fuck? And like, it takes me literally like a whole moment. I'm like, oh my god. And then I realize like, my laptop's open. Like, I can't see him, but he can see me. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know when you're like outside of a house at night, like if their light is on, you can see in. So I snap my laptop shut, and I'm just like listening. Everything goes quiet. Oh Like, I'm trying to listen for his footsteps, but my heart is literally beating so loud I can hear it in my ears. Like, you know when like you're at home alone and like you hear something and that feeling, or like, oh, when you're going upstairs from the basement and you turn the light off and you're like, oh, and like you run, like that feeling of like, oh, it was that feeling like times 1,000. So I was like, there's actually someone there. Like it's like if you realize like there's actually someone in my house. Like that's how I felt. Like not only were the footsteps right outside of my van, they were outside of my van on my left side. So I don't know if you remember me telling you that like my car is here, nothing, his car is here, everything's over there. He was here. Like the reason I know is because my window was open on that side, so I could clearly hear him. So I'm just listening and I'm like, oh my fucking God, like everything's running through my head. Like, why is he there? Like, what's happening? Like, what's going on? I think it felt like 2 hours, but a minute goes by and I hear like super quiet footsteps. Like I can hear him, but he's like sneaking on the gravel, like oh, I'm actually gonna cry like talking about it. Like that's how much it fucks me up. Like that to me is even creepier than the fact that he's there. You know, like if he was just like having a leak and like I shut my laptop, like he wouldn't even have noticed. Like he would have just walked. Like the fact that he's sneaking, like to me is fucking creepy. Like that's when I was like, okay, you're not overreacting, like you need to do something. So I'm like thinking in my head like what I have as a weapon. Like I know my doors are locked, but I'm still like, are they though? And also my window's open by like this much and I can't see him because it's dark out and my towel is like hanging there. I'm going through my mind like what weapons do I have, and I realized the only thing I have is like a cheese knife that's like literally this long. I'm like, I think I would just hurt myself more than anything. Like, oh my God, my phone. And I realized my phone is right here. Like I can just reach and grab it and call someone. And as I'm thinking this, I hear him try to open my front door. Like, and it's not like I think I heard him open my door. Like, no, I heard like that's what I heard. I'm like, holy shit. That's when I was like, oh my fucking God. And I hate myself because I never thought I would be that girl, but I was literally frozen with fear. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous and you're probably like, no, like, no. You know that girl in every scary movie that is like, oh my God, and you're like, bitch, run? Like, that's how I felt about myself, but I was so scared, I literally could not move. Like, I knew he was right outside of my van. I knew he was trying to get in. I knew I should just act fast, and I couldn't. I couldn't even grab my phone. Like, I was, like, trying to convince myself to move my hand, but I don't know, like, in my head, I was reasoning, like, he's gonna see me? Like, is it, like, good, he should see me fucking get my ass in gear. I eventually convinced myself to grab my phone and I'm like, who do I call? Like, am I gonna call my mom in Canada? Like, what the fuck is she gonna do? Like, love your mom, but I don't think you have the superpowers. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna call like my Kiwi mom. I pretty much like forced a family to adopt me. I'm like, love me, I need attention. And they were like, okay, we'll love you. So that's them. God bless their souls. I grab my phone and I call her and I'm like crying. Like as soon, you know when you're like something's going wrong and you're like, someone's like, are you okay? And the minute you're like, I'm not okay. Like that's exactly what happened. I'm like, and I'm whispering because I know he's fucking right out there and my window's open and I don't know what's going on. Like I haven't heard him since. I'm like, is he standing there? I would have heard him walk away. Like what's going on? So I'm like, oh my God, like there's someone trying to break in my van. There's someone trying to break in my van. And she's like, what? And then kind of like wakes her up and she's like, Nat, like what are you saying? I'm like, someone's trying to get in my van. Like he's right outside. Like I can hear him. Like I can hear him. And she's like, you're in a fucking car. Start the car. And I'm like, he's gonna see me. Like my reasoning is just zero. Like when I rethink about this right now, like I'm like, you're a stupid bitch. But I was like, yeah, but he's gonna see me. And she's like, good, like get in the front seat, start the car. So I'm shaking, like I can't even move. I'm like, and get to the front seat. I still can't see anything. I'm like trying to see out my window, but like, you know, when you're like looking in the dark, you're just like opening your eyes, but you can't actually see shit. The keys are already in the ignition. Like I left them in the ignition so I don't lose them because I'm a fucking asshole. And I'm shaking so much, I can't even start the car. Like that's not a joke. Like I was trying to turn the keys and I was like, that's how scared I was. I was literally shaking. That's never happened to me before. I've done stupid shit. I've gone bungee jumping. I'm terrified of heights. That's a whole other video. I've gone skydiving. But like, I've never been that scared in my life. I was shaking. I was literally paralyzed with fear. Start the car and the headlights go on and I immediately look over to his car and I see that his back door is open and that the like overhead light in his car is on. And I can see that he's not in his car. So I'm like, Oh my god, so then I look back over and I see something like dart across the front of my car, like towards the woods, like the line of the woods, and I'm like, oh my god, like, oh my god, like, oh my god. So I'm still talking to her, she's like, just, can you, I'm like, and I drive off and I'm like sobbing on the phone, like, where do I go? Like, where do I go? Like, it's the middle of the night, like, where do I go? And she's like, just drive to town, like, go to the police station. And I'm like, what am I gonna say? Like he'll just deny it. Like, I'm not going to the police station. She was like, it doesn't matter, like, just go somewhere you're safe, like, go in town. So I'm like, okay. So I drive in town and I literally park like on the main street, and I'm like, at this point it's like 3:30 a.m. and I'm so fucked up. Like, I talked to her on the phone for like half an hour, and like she calms me down and I hang up. I'm like, I'm gonna try to sleep. I just sit in the back of my van and like, I know I'm safe, like, I know he's not out there, but I just feel so like, I can't even explain. Like, I fell asleep from like 3:30 to like 5:30, and like, it was the worst 2 hours of my life. Like, I would wake up every 10 minutes in sweats. Like, I kept dreaming of like faces in my window. Like, I kept dreaming that I would wake up and see a face in the window, or I was waking up and I could see like the outlines of hands in the window. Like, it gives me shivers to think about. And like, so I wake up like 2 hours later. I can't believe this story isn't even done here. I wake up like 2 hours later because I can hear shit, and I'm like, well, what's going on? And I look outside my van, and like, this is my fucking luck. Like, this will tell you what my life is like. They're like construction workers putting cones all around my van because I somehow had parked like in an area that they were starting construction on that morning at 6 a.m. There's a bunch of trucks like pulling up, blocking me in, and I'm like, oh my god. Like, I hop out of the van, I'm like, whoa, 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 like, please let me back out. And they're like, oh shit, there was someone in there, like, fucking shoot me in the face. It's like 6 a.m. and I'm like, fuck, like, okay, I know I'm a dumbass, but like, I really wanted to shower, and like, I paid like $25 to sleep there, and like, I didn't want to have to go to another campground and pay $25 to shower. And I'm like, it's 5:30 in the morning, he's obviously not gonna be up, and it's like daylight, and it's fine, I feel safer. Like, I'm just gonna go and shower while he's sleeping and then leave. It's fucking dumb. I can't believe I did that. I deserve to die. Like, that's how, whatever. I'm that stupid bitch in every scary movie that I hate. That's me. I get there and I see his car, and like, there's no movement, and I'm like, all right, cool. So I park like, because the showers are like decently still far, so I'm like, I park like right beside the showers. And I go into the women's showers, and there's a fucking hornet's nest. Not in the bathroom, in the shower. And when I mean a hornet's nest, I'm like, oh my god, one hornet. No, like, the mother lord. Like, there was so many of them, and they were like, and I was like, okay, the minute I turn the water on, like, they're gonna fucking be pissed. Like, I'm not, no. I literally stood there for like 10 minutes, like, what do I do? I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go in the men's bathroom. Oh my god, I know, I'm so fucking stupid. And I go in the shower and like lock the door, and I'm showering, and like, I don't know, like 5 minutes go by, and I fucking hear him walk in. It's like 6 a.m. Like, okay, one, what are you doing up? Like, okay, no. And I hear him walk in and use the toilet, and I'm like, fucking shaking in the shower. I'm like, what is he gonna do? Kick the door down? But at the same time, I'm like, it's just weird. It's just fucking weird. I don't want to get out of the shower now because like, I don't know where he is. Like, ugh. So I hear him leave the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna like literally hop in my car and drive. Like, I parked super close, so I like open the door to like outside, and I look around and I don't see him, and I'm like, okay, so like dart to my car, and I have my hand on the handle, and he pops out from like behind my van. I'm like, and he's like, hey, and I'm like, I know I probably should have just like gotten my car and ran him over, but like, he was standing like behind my van, so I couldn't reverse out, and I was just like, hi, and he's like,
how'd you sleep?
That's the fucking creepiest thing someone can say after trying to fucking kill you the night before. I literally was like, great, thanks, got in the car, fucking almost ran him over, like peeled the tires out of there, like fucking start the car, and I left. That was my first night traveling alone. Like, I almost canceled the whole trip because I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm gonna get killed. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. But like, I also didn't want to ruin my whole trip for one guy, like, you know, one shitty person, because like, Kiwis are actually really, really, really nice. Like, it's just the French. I'm kidding. The whole next day, I cried and cried and cried, and like, I just went to this like town and sat there and cried, and was like, I just want to come back. And like, my Kiwi family was like, then come back, like, you don't have to do this. And I was like, no, I'm gonna keep going. And I'm glad I did, because like, it was an amazing trip, and I clearly didn't fucking learn at all, because I'm still in a van. A year later. Yeah, so I never saw the guy again. I don't know what the fuck he was planning to do. Like, I told my mom this story and I was like scared of telling her because I'm like, she's never gonna sleep another night in her life unless I'm like at home with her. Like, she's gonna be terrified. And the first thing she said was, "What did he want?" Okay, Mom, do you think I'm gonna fucking crack the window and be like, hey, what's up? What's that? What do you need? Oh, sure, come on into my van at 2 a.m. I didn't fucking ask what he wanted. I was like, he's probably trying to fucking kill, rob, rape, or I don't fucking know, but he's not, hey, I just can't sleep. I just thought I'd have a chat. Like, no, like, that's all, what do you mean? What do you want? Oh, that's when I was like, my mom does not even love me. I'm kidding, my mom does love me. I'm sorry that I fucking do stupid shit, that you live every day terrified for my life, because so do I. So anyways, I don't even know why I told you this story, because now I have to sleep in my van tonight, and I'm probably gonna think of it and like, have fucking stress sweats again. But I just thought I'd share it with you because it's Halloween. Yeah, so thanks for watching again. I'm sorry it was such a fucking morbid ass story. The next ones will probably be funnier, so woo! Oh my god, like what is life? So yeah, if you like it, please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Guys, thanks for watching!